Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. Today I have a Yin Yoga practice that is great for Mother's Day if you are missing your mother. If you're new to this channel, at the time of this filming, I lost my mom about 3 weeks ago. It's also great physically for your inner and outer thighs and to open your heart. We're going to talk a lot about, well, maybe not a lot. We're going to talk about opening your heart. Right about now, there should be a link to a vlog I recorded that talks about grief. A lot of different things about grief. And so if you're interested, you can take a look at that first before this practice. So besides the inner and outer thighs and opening up our heart, we will also be balancing our heart chakra. And I will also ask you, you can set any intention you would like, now is a great time. Also ask you to think about the yama, ahimsa. Sometimes I get my yamas and niyamas mixed up. Ahimsa is often translated as nonviolence, and that can be nonviolence against yourself, which you might consider to be holding on to grief, not letting it go, not expressing your grief to the point where maybe it hurts you. I'm going to suggest a couple of blocks and a bolster today. I really do suggest props for today's practice. So go ahead and gather up your props, meet me back on your mat or your bed. Again, if you're new to my channel, the main reason I do all these Yin Yoga in bed practices, I have this 16-year-old dog over there who gets really anxious when he can't see me. So, but most of the time he's happy when he's on the bed. That's why we're doing that here today. Yin Yoga, great on the bed, by the way. So go ahead and find an easy, comfortable seat. I'm going to suggest you take your hands to your heart. Everything I do in this practice is a suggestion to you. Make this practice your own. Make it comfortable and yet a little challenging for you. And go ahead, take your hands to your heart if that's comfortable. Close your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable for you to do so. And normally this is where I say, notice your breath, which is a good thing to do. But right now I'm going to say, notice your heartbeat. How does it feel? Do you notice a difference when you just take your attention to your heartbeat? And now allow your breath to slow down. When your heart is open, your lungs can also be open. And when it's contracted, it's harder to breathe. Allow your face to soften. Allow your eyes to relax. Allow your jaw to open up just a little bit. Your tongue falls down to the bottom of your palate. Shoulders relax. Allow the tension to just melt out of your shoulders. And the last couple of breaths here. And then slowly blink your eyes open. I'm going to move my blocks over to the side. I will suggest using them as we get into our first pose, which is reclined supported butterfly. So, excuse me, as I get into position, take your hips so they're against the edge of your bolster, and then slowly allow yourself to melt on down into the bolster. Grab those blocks if you have them. Bring the soles of your feet together and take one block underneath one thigh, kind of angling it in there, and then the other one underneath the other thigh. Just allows your muscles to relax and go deeper inside your body. Arms can be out to the sides, palm up or down, your choice. With every breath, I take in inspiration. Again, allow your face to soften. Notice where you're holding tension there. Make sure you're allowing your legs to relax completely into the blocks if you're using them. The last couple of breaths here. And then slowly reach down, remove the blocks, set them over to one side. Put one elbow down, allow yourself to roll over to one side. If you're using that bolster, go ahead and set it aside, coming completely down on your back and allowing your hands to come up over your head or maybe out to a T. Relaxing for a minute in our rebound pentacle pose. And last breath here. And then slowly roll over to one side, turning to face the long end of your mat. I'm going to sit up on top of my bolster. And then stretch one leg out to the side and then the other leg out to the side and grab a block. Coming into dragon pose. I'm going to take my elbow, put it on top of the block, hold my head, take the opposite arm and take it around my back into a bind, opening up the side body. This is completely optional. You can be sitting upright in your dragonfly pose. You can choose to come into a forward fold. Getting a little bit into the wood element here. Releasing anger, frustration. Anger can be part of grief as well, obviously. Now release anger. Go ahead and switch to the other side if you're taking the side lateral variation of your dragonfly. Elbow, the elbow of the same arm as the leg outstretched. Take the opposite arm, bend that elbow and bring it behind your back if you choose. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your face to smooth out yet again. Trying to release muscular tension. Last couple of breaths here. Go ahead and bring your torso upright. Set your block behind you. Bring one leg straight out in front of you and then the other, bringing them together. And then taking your hands behind you, maybe on your blocks, like I am. And allow your body to rebound. Noticing any sensations. Can you sense the energy moving within your body? And last breath here. Press into those palms to bring your torso upright. If you are on top of a bolster, come on off of it. Move it out of your way. Grab a block. Begin to come down onto your back, taking the block right underneath your shoulder blades. So heart opening pose. And just let your head hang down if it's comfortable. You can take a pillow under your head. If you really feel uncomfortable this way, you can take another block underneath your head. I open my heart to joy. We tend to be really contracted these days, as we tend to be hunched over devices. And opening the heart space allows us to breathe fuller, deeper breaths. And we get more energy into our bodies. Also really great for our posture. Last couple of breaths here. Also good to open up that throat center, your throat chakra. And then gently take one hand or both underneath your head. Slowly, gently guide your head up. Remove the block. Come on down to your back and into your favorite Shavasana, which does not need to be on your back, by the way. Bringing your attention back, back to your intention. Remember, I offered a few at the beginning, which was balancing our heart chakra, physically strengthening our inner and outer thighs, opening across the heart and the lungs to take in more air, more joy, and ahimsa, nonviolence, being kind to yourself and others, of course. Go ahead and relax in Shavasana until you hear me speak again. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you feel called to today. If you are moving into the rest of your day, allow your breath to deepen. Feel the support of what's beneath you, keeping you safe and secure. Begin to take any small movements you need. Come back into this day, and in your own way and in your own time, find yourself back up into a seated position, hands pressed together in front of your heart center, bringing the thumb, the knuckles of the thumb right in there, pressing hand into hand, activity into rest, feminine into masculine, and slightly bowing your head over your hand, over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. May you find the joy in each and every breath. And slowly blink your eyes open, taking in your mat, the rest of the room, allowing your hands to fall into your lap, onto your legs. One last thing I want to share with you today. If you like, I'm going to flush our liver meridian. So it's kind of like flushing your pipes, right? Meridians are pathways, energy pathways in our body, and they can get stagnant and clogged, and they may need to be flushed like pipes do. And so we do this by tracing them backwards once and then going forwards 3 times. So to begin with, take your hands underneath your breast and just rub a little bit there, and then taking out to the sides of your ribs, coming down, in at the groin, down your inner legs, and then off the big toe. Rub your hands together, shake them off, and then we come up the big toe, the inside of the legs, just using your hands, out at the groin, coming up the sides of your ribs, and then underneath your breasts, and giving a little rub. Big toe, inner legs, out at the hips, up the sides, and underneath the breasts. And one last time. This is great to do in spring. Anytime you've overeaten, anytime you're feeling frustrated and angry. Anger is, of course, one of the 5 stages of grief, according to, Edith Kubler-Ross. I can't say yet that I have felt much anger, but we spent a very, very long years in what they call anticipatory grief. So, if somebody were to ask me what my mom died from, I would say she died from old age, because that's the truth. I mean, she had a few ailments, but she declined very, very slowly over many years. And the mother I knew slowly disappeared. And that's hard. It's really hard. In fact, the hospice social worker said it's brutal on the families, and I said, yes, it really is. So there was anger during those periods sometimes, but that's not what I feel right now. Anyway, so right about now, you'll see some other practices. You can link up with this one. There is a meditation for calm. It is very similar to what I did many, many times when I went to visit my mom. I would drive the, 90 minutes plus there, and I would use this meditation in the car or outside if I was very lucky, depending on the weather, and it helped a great deal. I've used this meditation also before doctor's visits because they make me anxious. My blood pressure tends to go up before the doctor's visits. So I highly recommend it. It's not very long. And there's also a vlog that I filmed to go with this practice because I didn't want to spend a lot of time talking during this practice. So that will be showing up at the end of this. And I talk about how rest is really important, but I don't like the phrase rest is resistance, and you'll have to watch the vlog to see what I mean by that. I also talk about some of the physical consequences on our bodies, just a little bit, and a few other things in there. So check it out. That one's not very long either. It's about 15 minutes, I think. If this is like mine, if this is your first Mother's Day without your mom, give yourself grace. Feel what you feel. Know that you're not alone. I spent so many Mother's Days with my mom. So many. I'm not sure that I missed any of them in the last decade. So it's not only that, I'm going to be alone on this Mother's Day, as it turns out, because my husband's mother is also having some issues now. But give yourself grace. It's a hard time in life. It's one of the major stresses of life, losing your mom. And if you didn't lose your mom, and you are a mom, I think this is a great practice too. Give yourself a little me time, practice some self-care. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you feel more open, that you can breathe easier, that you feel calmer, and maybe heard and felt. And if you like this practice, go ahead and click the like button. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell. I can reach more people, the more people who like and subscribe, who like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day if you're celebrating, and if you're missing your mom. I don't have words of wisdom really, but it's part of life. And I personally do believe that they are always in us, just like we were once in them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.